My faithful one, do you know who you really are? Not who the world says you are, not the labels others have placed on you, not the limitations your circumstances have tried to define you by. You are a warrior. You are an overcomer. You are stronger than you have ever realized. I made you strong, not in the way the world defines strength, not in the way your own mind measures it. I made you strong in ways you cannot yet see, in ways you cannot yet feel, in ways that will only become apparent when you look back and realize the magnitude of what I have built inside you. And now, I want you to understand the depth of what I have been doing in the hidden places of your soul. I made you strong, not in the way the world defines strength, not in the way your own mind measures it. I made you strong in ways you cannot yet see, in ways you cannot yet feel, in ways that will only become apparent when you look back and realize that you survived things that should have destroyed you. The battles you faced were never meant to break you. They were meant to forge you. Every single struggle, every sleepless moment, every tear that fell when no one was watching, every silent cry of your heart when words failed you, all of it was part of my refining process. I was not absent during those hard seasons. I was working. I was building. I was strengthening the very foundation of who you are. You have questioned my presence so many times. You have wondered if I was truly there when everything seemed to crumble around you. You have asked yourself why a loving God would allow such pain, such confusion, such heartbreak. But I want you to understand something profound, something that will shift your entire perspective. I never promised you a life without storms. I promised you my presence in the midst of them. I never said the road would be easy. I said I would walk it with you. And I have. Every single step. Even when you could not feel me. Even when you could not hear me. Even when doubt whispered that I had abandoned you. I was there, closer than your own breath, more faithful than the sunrise. The strength I placed in you is not your own doing. You did not manufacture it through willpower. You did not create it through positive thinking. It was planted by my own hand, deep in the soil of your spirit. And it has been growing even when you thought nothing good could grow in such barren ground. This is the mystery of my work in your life. I specialize in making gardens out of deserts. I specialize in bringing life where death seemed certain. I specialize in raising up warriors from those who once felt like victims. And that is exactly what I have done with you. Let me take you back to those moments when you felt weakest. Do you remember them? Do you remember when the weight of your circumstances pressed so heavily upon your chest that you wondered if you would survive another day? Do you remember when the voices of fear and anxiety screamed so loudly that you could barely hear your own thoughts? Do you remember when betrayal cut so deep that you questioned whether you could ever trust again? I was there. In every single one of those moments, I was there. Not as a distant observer, not as an uncaring deity watching from afar. I was there as your father, your protector, your healer, your strength. I was holding you even when you did not know you were being held. The enemy wanted those seasons to destroy you. He had a plan for your demise. He studied your weaknesses and launched his attacks with precision. He knew exactly which buttons to push, which wounds to reopen, which lies to whisper in your most vulnerable moments. But here is what he did not account for. He did not account for my protection over your life. He did not account for the angels I assigned to guard you. He did not account for my covenant faithfulness that cannot be broken by any force in heaven or on earth. Every arrow he shot at you passed through my hands first, and I filtered what reached you. I allowed only what would make you stronger. I blocked everything that would have been too much for you to bear. This is why you are still standing. Not because you are superhuman. Not because you have some special ability that others lack. You are still standing because I held you up when your knees buckled. I breathed life into you when you felt like giving up. I whispered hope into your heart when despair tried to take residence there. I fought battles on your behalf that you never even knew were happening. The spiritual warfare that surrounded you was intense, but my army is greater. My power is unmatched. My love for you is the most powerful force in all of existence. and I deployed all of it on your behalf. I want to talk to you about faith, not the kind of faith that the religious world often presents, not the complicated theological concepts that can leave you feeling inadequate. I want to talk about simple faith, pure faith, the kind of faith that moves mountains not because of its size, but because of its authenticity. I told my disciples that if they had faith as small as a mustard seed, they could speak to mountains, and those mountains would move. This was not an exaggeration. This was not a metaphor meant to be dismissed. This is spiritual reality, and I want you to understand what I meant by this. A mustard seed is tiny. So tiny that you could hold dozens of them in the palm of your hand without even noticing their weight. So tiny that a slight breeze could carry them away. So tiny that the world would consider them insignificant. But within that tiny seed is encoded everything needed to produce a massive tree. Within that small package is the blueprint for something that can grow larger than all the other garden plants. This is how I designed faith to work. It is not about the quantity. It is about the quality. It is not about how much faith you can manufacture. It is about whether the faith you have is genuine. One genuine moment of trust in me carries more power than a lifetime of religious performance. You have been measuring your faith wrong. You have looked at others who seem to have unwavering confidence and wondered why your faith feels so small. You have compared yourself to those who speak boldly and declare great things and felt inadequate because your prayers sometimes come out as whispers of desperation rather than declarations of victory. But I want to tell you something that will set you free. I am not looking for perfect faith. I am looking for honest faith. I am not searching for people who never doubt. I am drawn to those who bring their doubts to me rather than running away. I am not impressed by grand displays of spiritual performance. I am moved by the quiet cry of a heart that simply says, I believe. Help my unbelief. Your faith has been tested in the fire. Every challenge you faced was an opportunity for your faith to either grow or shrink. And here is what I observed. Even in your weakest moments, even when fear seemed stronger than your confidence in me, there was a small seed of faith that refused to die. It may have been buried under layers of doubt. It may have been overshadowed by circumstances that seemed impossible, but it was there. And that tiny seed was enough. That small flicker of faith was sufficient for me to work with, because I do not need your faith to be perfect. I just need it to be present. I watched you in those dark seasons when giving up seemed like the only option. I saw the internal battle you fought every single day. Part of you wanted to surrender to despair. Part of you wanted to walk away from everything, including me. But there was another part of you, perhaps just a small whisper in the depths of your soul, that held on. That part of you refused to completely let go of hope. That part of you kept praying even when the prayers felt like they were hitting the ceiling. That part of you kept getting up each morning even when you had no idea how you would make it through the day. That was your mustard seed. That tiny determination to keep going was all I needed. And I took that small seed of faith and I began to grow it. Not through easy circumstances. Faith does not grow strong in comfort. Faith grows strong in the furnace. Faith develops muscles when it is forced to lift heavy weights. Your struggles were not punishments. They were exercises. Every time you faced something that seemed impossible and somehow made it through, your faith expanded. Every time you prayed for something and watched me provide in unexpected ways, your faith deepened. Every time you chose to trust me even though your circumstances screamed that trusting was foolish, your faith became more resilient. The strength you have is directly connected to the faith you have exercised. They are not separate things. When you trust me in difficulty, strength is born. When you lean on my promises instead of your own understanding, strength floods into your being. When you refuse to give up even though everything in you wants to quit, strength becomes your companion. I have been building both your faith and your strength simultaneously because they are two sides of the same coin. A person with great faith is a person with great strength, and you have become stronger than you realize. Let me tell you about my protection over your life. You have no idea how many disasters I have diverted from your path. You have no concept of how many accidents were prevented, how many plots were foiled, how many attacks were intercepted before they could reach you. The enemy is relentless. He does not take vacations. He does not sleep. He is constantly looking for ways to destroy what I am building in you. But he is fighting a losing battle, because I am more relentless in my protection than he is in his attacks. I am more committed to your safety than he is to your destruction, and my power infinitely surpasses anything he can muster. There have been moments when you sensed danger, but could not explain it. Moments when something told you to take a different route, to avoid a certain place, to distance yourself from a particular person. That was my voice. That was my protection. I speak to you in ways that bypass your logical mind and go straight to your spirit. I guide you through impressions, through intuitions, through that inner knowing that something is right or wrong even when you cannot articulate why. And when you listen to those promptings, you are cooperating with my protective hand over your life. But even when you have not listened, even when you have walked into situations I warned you about, I did not abandon you. My protection is not contingent on your perfect obedience. If it were, no one would survive. My protection flows from my love, and my love is unconditional. So even in the middle of your mistakes, even in the consequences of your wrong choices, I was there, working within the chaos to bring about something good, using even your failures as fertilizer for your growth, turning the ashes of your regrets into something beautiful. Your family is also under my protection. Every person connected to you, everyone you love, everyone who carries your blood or your heart, they are covered by my covenant with you. When you pray for them, I listen. When you cry out for their safety, I respond. When you intercede for their salvation, I work in ways you cannot see. The spiritual atmosphere around your home is different because of your prayers. The angels assigned to your family have been strengthened because of your faith. You may not see the changes yet in the natural realm, but shifts are happening in the spiritual realm that will eventually manifest in ways that will astound you. I know you have worried about your loved ones. I know sleepless hours have been spent wondering if they will be all right. I know the weight of caring for others has sometimes felt like more than you could bear, but I want to release you from that weight right now, not because you should stop caring, but because the carrying was never meant to be your job alone. I am the one who carries. I am the one who bears the weight of all things. When you try to carry what only I can carry, you exhaust yourself unnecessarily. Your role is to pray. Your role is to love. Your role is to be present. The heavy lifting belongs to me. I want to speak to the specific battles you have faced. I know about the financial pressures that kept you awake at night. I know about the moments when you looked at your accounts and wondered how you would make it through the week. I know about the bills that piled up while resources seemed to shrink. I watched every moment of that struggle, and even though it may have seemed like I was silent, I was working behind the scenes. Opportunities were being arranged, doors were being prepared, provision was being positioned. My timing is not always what you would choose, but my timing is always perfect. I know about the relational wounds that cut deep into your heart, the betrayals from people you trusted, the abandonment from those who should have stayed, the words spoken that cannot be unspoken, the damage done by those who claimed to love you but whose actions told a different story. I felt every bit of that pain with you. When your heart broke, something in the heavenlies resonated with your grief. I am not a distant God who does not understand human pain. I became human. I walked among you. I experienced betrayal myself. I know what it feels like to be let down by those closest to you. And I want to bring healing to every wound that remains. The healing I offer is not surface level. It is not a bandage placed over a wound that continues to fester underneath. My healing goes to the root. It reaches into the deepest places where pain has taken up residence and releases it from your being. This process takes time. It requires your participation. It demands honesty about what actually happened and how it actually affected you. But I am patient. I will not rush your healing. I will not demand that you get over it before you are ready. I will walk with you through the healing process step by step, layer by layer, until wholeness is your new reality. I know about the health concerns that have plagued your mind, the symptoms you have noticed that worried you, the diagnoses that have been spoken over your body, the fear that has crept in when you thought about the future of your physical being. I created that body. I know every cell. I know every system. I know how it all works together. And my power to heal has not diminished since the days when I walked the earth and made the blind see, the deaf hear, and the lame walk. That same power is available to you. I am not limited by what doctors say is possible. I am not bound by statistics or prognoses. My ability to restore exceeds human understanding. This does not mean that I will always heal in the way you expect or in the timing you prefer. My ways are higher than your ways. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts. Sometimes healing comes instantaneously. Sometimes it comes gradually. Sometimes it comes through medical intervention that I guide and direct. And sometimes the ultimate healing is the moment when you step out of your temporary body and into my presence forever, where there is no more pain, no more sickness, no more suffering. In all of these scenarios, I am still the healer. Trust me with your health. Trust me with your body. Trust me with your very life. I want to talk to you about the mental battles you have faced, the anxiety that has tried to strangle your peace, the depression that has tried to drain your hope, the thoughts that have bombarded your mind with lies about your worth, your future, your identity. These battles are real. I do not minimize them. I do not dismiss them as weakness or lack of faith. The battlefield of the mind is one of the most intense arenas of spiritual warfare. And you have been a warrior in that arena whether you recognized it or not. Every time you rejected a lie about yourself, you won a battle. Every time you chose to believe my truth over the enemy's deception, you gained ground. Every time you refused to sink into the pit of despair even when it seemed inviting, you demonstrated courage that heaven applauded. The fight for your mind is ongoing. It does not end with a single victory, but you are equipped for this fight. I have given you weapons that are not physical. They are spiritual. And spiritual weapons are infinitely more powerful than anything the enemy possesses. My word is your sword. When lies come, you counter them with my truth. When fear speaks, you respond with my promises. When doubt whispers, you declare what I have said about you. This is not positive thinking. This is spiritual combat. You are not merely trying to feel better. You are actively engaging in warfare that has eternal implications. And you are winning. Even when it does not feel like it. Even when the battles seem endless. Even when you are tired beyond description. You are winning because you are mine. And those who belong to me cannot ultimately be defeated. I want to remind you of who you are. Not who the world says you are. Not who your past says you are. Not who your failures say you are. I want to remind you of who I say you are, because my opinion is the only one that truly matters. When I look at you, I do not see your mistakes. I see my child. I do not see your shortcomings. I see my masterpiece. I do not see your sins. I see the blood of my Son that has washed you clean. You are righteous in my eyes, not because of what you have done, but because of what Christ has done for you. You are chosen. Before the foundation of the world, I knew you. I selected you. I called you by name and marked you as my own. This choosing was not based on your performance. It was not earned by your good behavior. It was a gift of pure grace. You did not audition for the role of my beloved. You were simply loved. You are accepted. There is nothing you can do to make me love you more. And there is nothing you can do to make me love you less. My love is not a response to your actions. It is a reflection of my character. I love because that is who I am. And you are the object of that eternal, unchanging, unstoppable love. You are empowered. I did not leave you to figure out this life on your own. I placed my spirit within you. The same spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives inside of you. The same power that spoke the universe into existence resides in your being. You are not weak, even when you feel weak. You are not powerless, even when circumstances seem overwhelming. You carry within you a deposit of divine ability that can accomplish immeasurably more than you could ever ask or imagine. My power is made perfect in your weakness. When you are at your lowest, my strength is displayed most brilliantly through you. You are purposed. Your life is not an accident. Your existence is not meaningless. Every detail of who you are was carefully designed with intention. Your personality, your gifts, your passions, your experiences, all of it has been woven together to equip you for a specific assignment that only you can fulfill. There are people you will reach that no one else can reach. There are words you will speak that no one else can speak. There are acts of love you will perform that no one else can perform. You are not interchangeable. You are irreplaceable. And the world needs exactly what you bring to it. I know you have questioned your purpose. I know you have wondered if your life makes any difference. I know you have compared yourself to others who seem to have clearer direction or greater impact. But comparison is a thief. It steals the joy of your unique journey. Stop looking at the paths of others and trust me with your own path. I am leading you somewhere specific. Every twist and turn has meaning. Every delay has purpose. Every detour is actually direction in disguise. Just because your journey does not look like someone else's does not mean you are lost. It means you have your own road to travel. Let me speak to you about trust. This is the foundation of everything in our relationship. Without trust, faith cannot function. Without trust, my promises remain theoretical rather than experiential. Without trust, you will live in constant anxiety, even though I have offered you peace. Trust is the bridge between what I have said and what you experience, and I am asking you to deepen your trust in me. Trusting me does not mean you will understand everything. In fact, if you understood everything, you would not need to trust. Trust operates in the unknown. It functions in uncertainty. It flourishes when you cannot see the outcome, but believe in my character anyway. I am asking you to trust me with things that make no sense to your natural mind. I am asking you to trust me with situations that seem hopeless to human logic. I am asking you to trust me with your very life, knowing that I hold all things in my capable hands. When a child holds their parent's hand while crossing a busy street, they do not understand all the dangers that exist. They do not comprehend the physics of moving vehicles. They do not analyze the traffic patterns or calculate the risks. They simply trust that the parent will not lead them into harm. They believe that the hand holding theirs is strong enough to protect them. This is the kind of trust I desire from you. Simple, pure, childlike, not based on understanding everything, but based on knowing that I am good and that I love you beyond measure. Your trust will be tested. It already has been. Every difficult circumstance is an opportunity to either deepen your trust or allow it to erode. When things do not go as you hoped, you have a choice. You can conclude that I have failed you, that I am not who I said I am, that trusting me was a mistake. Or you can hold on to my character even when circumstances seem to contradict it. The second choice is the way of faith. It is the path that leads to seeing my glory manifested in impossible situations. I have never failed anyone who trusted me. Not once in all of human history has someone placed their genuine trust in me and been ultimately disappointed. I may not have done what they expected. I may not have operated according to their timeline. But in the end, those who trusted me found that I was faithful. They discovered that my plan was better than theirs. They realized that what I withheld was less important than what I provided. Trust me with your story. The ending will be good because I am good. Let me take you deeper into understanding my strength that I have placed within you. This strength is not arrogance. It is not self-sufficiency. It is not independence from me. True strength, the kind I cultivate, is complete dependence on me combined with confident action. You are strong not because you no longer need me. You are strong because you have learned that with me, nothing is impossible. Your strength comes from connection to me, not separation from me. Think of a branch connected to a vine. The branch itself has no power to produce fruit. It cannot create grapes through its own effort. But when it remains connected to the vine, when the life of the vine flows through it, Fruit happens naturally. The branch is not weak because it depends on the vine. The branch is productive precisely because of its dependence. This is how your strength works. The more connected you are to me, the stronger you become. The more you abide in my presence, the more powerful you are. Your dependency is not weakness. It is the source of all your strength. I have watched you grow in this understanding. I have seen you move from trying to handle everything on your own to learning the beauty of surrender. I have observed the transformation from striving to resting. This was not an easy shift. Your culture celebrates self-reliance. Your world applauds those who pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. But my kingdom operates on different principles. In my kingdom, the humble are exalted. The weak are made strong. Those who admit their need for me are filled to overflowing. The strength I give is not just for yourself. It is meant to overflow into the lives of others. You have been strengthened so that you can strengthen others. You have been comforted so that you can comfort others. You have received grace so that you can extend grace. This is the economy of my kingdom. Nothing is wasted. Every bit of strength you have gained through your struggles becomes a resource you can share with those who are still in the middle of their own battles. There are people watching your life right now who need to see how you handle difficulty. They need to witness someone who trusts me in the face of adversity. They need to observe faith in action, not just faith in theory. Your life is a testimony being written in real time. And the chapters that include struggle are often the most powerful. When others see you standing strong during storms, they begin to believe that they can stand strong too. Your strength becomes contagious. I want to release you from the pressure of appearing strong all the time. True strength includes the ability to be honest about weakness. There is great power in vulnerability. When you share your struggles with others, you give them permission to share theirs. When you admit that you do not have all the answers, you create space for genuine community. The false strength of pretending everything is fine actually isolates you. The real strength of authentic living connects you to others in meaningful ways. My son modeled this for you. He was the strongest person who ever lived, yet he was moved with compassion to tears. He had all power available to him, yet he knelt to wash the feet of his friends. He could have called down legions of angels, yet he allowed himself to be captured and crucified. His strength was displayed not in domination, but in sacrificial love. This is the kind of strength I am developing in you. Strength that serves, strength that loves, strength that lays down its life for others. I want to address the fears that have tried to take root in your heart. Fear is one of the enemy's most effective weapons. It paralyzes, it prevents, it persuades you to stay small when I am calling you to expand. Fear lies about the future. It magnifies problems and minimizes solutions. It tells you that the worst-case scenario is inevitable. But fear is a liar, and my perfect love casts out fear. The fears you have faced are real in the sense that you genuinely experienced them. The anxiety was not pretend. The worry was not imaginary. But the things fear told you were largely false. How many times has fear predicted disaster that never came? How many sleepless nights were spent worrying about outcomes that never materialized? How much energy has been wasted on scenarios that existed only in the theater of your worried mind? Fear is a poor prophet. Its predictions are almost never accurate. I am not asking you to deny the existence of real dangers. I am not suggesting you become naive about genuine threats. What I am asking is that you filter every fear through the lens of my sovereignty. Yes, bad things can happen, but they cannot happen without my permission. And when they do happen, I will be present to bring good out of them. My presence does not eliminate all difficulty from your life, but it eliminates the need to be afraid. You can face anything when you know that I am with you. The strength I have placed in you includes strength to overcome fear. You do not have to be controlled by anxiety. You do not have to make decisions based on what might go wrong. You do not have to live a small life because you are afraid of failure. I have given you a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. That spirit lives inside you. It is part of your new nature. And as you learn to operate from that spirit, rather than from your old patterns of fear, you will experience freedom like never before. I want to take you on a journey through some of my promises. These are not empty words. They are contractual commitments from the Creator of the universe. When I make a promise, the entire weight of my eternal character stands behind it. I cannot lie. It is impossible for me to deceive. So when I say something, you can stake your entire existence on it. I have promised to never leave you nor forsake you. This means exactly what it says. There is no scenario, no situation, no sin, no failure that can cause me to abandon you. I am not like human relationships that come with conditions and expiration dates. I am the God who stays. Even when you walk away from me, I do not walk away from you. I pursue you. I call you back. I wait with open arms for your return. You cannot exhaust my patience. You cannot drain my commitment. You are stuck with me forever. I have promised that all things work together for good for those who love me and are called according to my purpose. Notice that I did not say all things are good. Some things are terrible, some things are tragic, some things should never happen. But I am so powerful and so creative that I can take even the worst things and weave them into a tapestry of good. The individual threads may be dark and ugly, but the finished picture is beautiful. You are not yet seeing the finished picture. You are still in process. Trust me with the threads you do not understand. I have promised to supply all your needs according to my riches and glory, not according to your resources, not according to the economy, not according to your job situation, according to my riches. And my riches are inexhaustible. I own everything. Every resource in the universe belongs to me, and I am committed to taking care of you. This does not mean you will have everything you want. Needs and wants are different, but you will have everything you truly need. And often, you will have much more. I have promised to give you peace that surpasses understanding. This is not peace that depends on circumstances. It is not peace that comes only when things are going well. This is supernatural peace that guards your heart and mind even in the middle of chaos. It does not make sense to the natural mind. How can someone have peace when their world is falling apart? The answer is found in me. When you are rooted in my presence, when you trust my sovereignty, when you believe my promises, peace becomes possible in impossible situations. I have promised that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. This does not mean no weapons will be formed. Weapons are being formed constantly. The enemy is creative in his attacks. But the promise is that they will not prosper. They will not achieve their intended purpose. They may cause temporary pain, but they will not cause permanent destruction. What was meant to take you out will actually become part of your testimony. You will overcome every attack by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of your testimony. These promises are yours, not because you earned them, not because you deserve them, but because I am faithful and because you are mine. Cling to these promises when circumstances try to convince you otherwise. Declare them out loud when fear whispers its lies. Write them on your heart and meditate on them until they become more real to you than the problems you face. My word is the anchor for your soul. It will hold you steady when everything else is shaking. Let me tell you about the battles that have shaped you. Each one had purpose. Each one contributed something to who you are becoming. I know at the time they felt pointless. They felt cruel. They felt like evidence that I had forgotten you, or that I was punishing you for something. But that was never the truth. The truth is that I was forming you. I was shaping you. I was preparing you for something greater than you could imagine in those difficult moments. The battle with finances taught you that I am your provider. Before you faced lack, you might have known intellectually that I supply all needs. But there is a difference between intellectual knowledge and experiential knowledge. When you have actually watched me provide in impossible situations, when you have seen money come from unexpected sources, when you have experienced my faithfulness in meeting your needs, that knowledge becomes part of your DNA. You will never fear poverty the same way again because you have seen me provide. The battle with relationships taught you discernment. You learned to recognize who truly belonged in your inner circle and who was there for the wrong reasons. Painful as those lessons were, they were invaluable. You now have wisdom about relationships that can only come from experience. You know the signs of unhealthy connection. You understand the value of genuine friendship. You appreciate the difference between those who are for you and those who are against you. This discernment will protect you for the rest of your life. The battle with health taught you to value your body as my temple. Before you faced health challenges, you may have taken your body for granted. Many do. But when something threatens your physical well-being, perspective shifts. You begin to understand the precious gift of breath, of mobility, of life itself. And even if your health is not yet fully restored, you have gained an appreciation that will shape how you steward your body going forward. The battle with your own mind taught you the importance of guarding your thoughts. You discovered that what you allow into your mind affects everything else about your life. You learned that thoughts become beliefs, beliefs become actions, and actions become destiny. This awareness has made you more intentional about what you feed your mind. You are more careful about the voices you listen to, the content you consume, the ideas you entertain. This mental discipline is a form of strength that will serve you well. The battle with identity taught you to find your worth in me rather than in external validation. You tried finding your value in achievement, in the opinions of others, in your appearance, in your productivity. And every single one of those sources eventually failed you. They are unstable foundations. But when you finally discovered that your identity is rooted in my love for you, something shifted. You found a solid place to stand, a place that cannot be shaken by changing circumstances or fickle opinions. The battle with doubt taught you to ask honest questions rather than suppress them. Your faith is stronger not because you never doubt, but because you have learned to bring your doubts to me rather than running from them. Doubt that drives you away from me weakens faith. Doubt that drives you toward me strengthens it. You have learned the difference, and your faith is more robust because it has wrestled with real questions and found me faithful on the other side. Every single battle served a purpose. Not a single tear was wasted. Not a single sleepless moment was meaningless. I collected every one of them and used them as building materials for your character. You are not who you were before these battles. You are stronger. You are wiser. You are more compassionate. You are more dependent on me. You are more prepared for what comes next. And what comes next is good. I want to speak to you about the coming season of your life. I know you have wondered what the future holds. I know uncertainty about what lies ahead has caused anxiety in your heart. But I want to set your mind at ease. The same God who brought you through what is behind you is the same God who walks with you into what is ahead. I do not change. My faithfulness does not have seasons. My love does not fluctuate. Whatever comes, I will be there. The coming season will require the strength I have built in you. It is not going to be easy. I will not lie to you and promise that everything will be smooth. Following me has never meant a life of comfort. It means a life of purpose, and purpose often comes with challenges. But the challenges ahead are not meant to break you. They are meant to be opportunities for you to see my glory displayed. They are stages where my power will be demonstrated through your life. You are being prepared for influence, not the shallow influence that the world celebrates, not platform or followers or fame. Real influence, the kind that changes lives eternally. The kind that shifts family trees for generations, the kind that brings light into dark places. This influence is not something you will manufacture. It will flow naturally from who you are becoming. As you continue to walk with me, as you continue to trust me, as you continue to grow in strength and faith, your influence will expand. I have assignments waiting for you that you cannot yet see. There are divine appointments on your calendar that you did not schedule. There are encounters coming that will seem random, but are actually orchestrated by my hand. People who need exactly what you carry will be placed in your path. Some will be strangers. Some will be old connections revisited. Some will be people you have been praying for without knowing it. Be ready. Be available. Say yes, even when it feels inconvenient. The strength I have given you is not just for surviving. It is for thriving. It is for advancing. It is for taking territory that has been in the hands of the enemy. Too often my children settle for simply making it through. They see Christianity as a defensive position, just trying to hold on until I return, or until they die. But that was never my intention for you. I came that you might have life abundantly. Abundance is not merely survival. It is overflow. It is impact. It is leaving a mark on everything you touch. I am calling you to an offensive posture in the spiritual realm, not aggression toward people. People are not your enemies. Your battle is not against flesh and blood. But there are spiritual forces that have held territory in your family, in your community, in your sphere of influence. That territory belongs to me, and I am enlisting you to help reclaim it. Through your prayers, through your obedience, through your faith-filled actions, through your refusal to accept darkness as permanent. Some of you have been called to intercession. You know who you are. There is something in you that is drawn to prayer in a way that others do not understand. You feel the burdens of others as your own. You wake in the night with people on your heart that you know you must pray for. This is a sacred calling. Intercessors stand in the gap between heaven and earth. They partner with me in bringing my will from the spiritual realm into the physical realm. If this is your calling, embrace it fully. Do not despise the weight of it. It is a privilege to be trusted with such responsibility. Some of you have been called to teaching. You have the ability to take deep truths and make them accessible. You see connections that others miss. You can translate spiritual concepts into language that ordinary people can understand. This gift is desperately needed. There is so much confusion about who I am and what I desire. Teachers bring clarity. They turn on lights in dark rooms. They help people see what was always there but was hidden by shadows. If this is your calling, ask me for boldness to speak and wisdom to know what to say. Some of you have been called to compassion ministries. Your heart breaks for the poor, the marginalized, the forgotten. You cannot see suffering without being moved to action. You want to get your hands dirty in the real needs of real people. This reflects my own heart more than you know. I said that when you serve the least of these, you are serving me directly. When you feed the hungry, clothe the naked, visit the imprisoned, you are ministering to me. If this is your calling, let nothing hold you back. The world needs your compassionate action. Some of you have been called to creativity. You see the world differently. You express things through art, through music, through writing, through design, through innovation. This creativity did not come from you. It came from me. I am the original creator. And I placed a spark of that creativity in you because the world needs beauty. It needs truth expressed in ways that bypass the intellect and go straight to the soul. If this is your calling, create without apology. Do not minimize your contribution. Art from a surrendered heart has power to change lives. Some of you have been called to leadership. People naturally follow you. You see vision that others cannot see. You have the ability to inspire action and coordinate effort toward a common goal. This is a sacred trust. Leadership in my kingdom looks nothing like leadership in the world. It is characterized by humility, by service, by sacrifice. The greatest among you must be the servant of all. If this is your calling, lead with trembling awareness of both the responsibility and the reward. Some of you have been called to the marketplace. Your sphere of influence is not a church building but an office, a construction site, a hospital, a school, a business. This is not a lesser calling. It is one of the most strategic positions in my kingdom. You are salt and light in places that would have no salt and light without you. You represent me in environments where my name is rarely spoken with reverence. If this is your calling, do not wish you were doing something more spiritual. You are doing something profoundly spiritual simply by being faithful where I have placed you. Some of you have been called to family. Your primary mission field is within the walls of your own home. Raising children who know me. Loving a spouse in a way that reflects my love for the church. Creating a home environment that is a sanctuary from the chaos of the world. This calling is under attack like never before. The enemy knows that strong families produce strong believers. He works overtime to destroy marriages and damage children. If this is your calling, defend it fiercely. Nothing you do outside your home matters if your home is falling apart. Whatever your calling, the strength I have given you applies. Whatever your assignment, the faith I have developed in you is essential. You are equipped for what I have called you to. You are not lacking any good thing needed to fulfill your purpose. If you feel inadequate, good. That means you are relying on me rather than on yourself. My power is displayed most clearly through those who know they cannot do it on their own. Let me speak to you about waiting. I know this is difficult. I know that some of you have been waiting for what feels like forever. Waiting for breakthrough. Waiting for healing. Waiting for provision. Waiting for relationships to be restored. Waiting for promises to be fulfilled. And the waiting has been exhausting. You have wondered if you heard me wrong. You have questioned whether the promise was real or imagined. You have been tempted to give up and conclude that what you hoped for will never come. I want to tell you that waiting is not wasted time. In my kingdom, waiting is working. Things are happening while you wait that you cannot see. Seeds are germinating under the soil. Foundations are being laid in the invisible realm. Your character is being refined in ways that only time can accomplish. If I gave you everything you wanted the moment you wanted it, you would not be ready to steward it properly. Premature blessing is actually a curse. So I make you wait, not because I am cruel, but because I am wise. Think about pregnancy. From the moment of conception, everything needed for a new life is present. The genetic code is complete. The potential is fully loaded. But 9 months of waiting is required. The baby cannot be rushed. Trying to deliver too early results in complications, sometimes tragedy. The waiting is part of the process. It is not separate from the process. And when the fullness of time arrives, when the baby is truly ready, birth happens. This is how my promises work. They are conceived in a moment but delivered in their proper season. Your waiting is evidence of something alive inside you. If you had given up, if you had stopped believing, you would not feel the tension of waiting. The very fact that the unfulfilled promise still bothers you is proof that the promise is still active. Dormant hope would not cause pain. It is living hope that creates the ache of anticipation. So in a strange way, your frustration with waiting is actually good news. It means the promise has not died. It is still growing. It is still coming. I want to release you from the anxiety of waiting without releasing you from the waiting itself. There is a peaceful way to wait. It involves trust. It involves focusing on me rather than on the unfulfilled desire. It involves engaging fully in the present season rather than constantly wishing for the next one. It involves thanking me for what I have already done rather than only seeing what I have not yet done. This kind of waiting is actually productive. It accomplishes something in your soul that running ahead never could. Some of what you are waiting for will come soon. I want you to prepare your heart for answers to prayers that have been prayed for many years. Things that you had almost given up on are about to shift. Doors that have been closed are about to open. Relationships that seemed dead are about to receive resurrection power. Health that has deteriorated is about to turn around. Finances that have been stagnant are about to flow. Get ready. Not in your own strength, but in the confident expectation that I am faithful to my word. Other things will require continued waiting. I will not give you a false promise that everything you desire is imminent. Some things are further away than you would like. Some prayers will not be answered in the way you hope this side of eternity. I am not obligated to do everything you want on your timeline. I am obligated only to be faithful to my character and to my promises. And I will be. You can count on me being exactly who I said I am. But you cannot count on me being what you have imagined me to be if that imagination does not align with my revealed nature. Trust me in the waiting. That is all I ask. I am not asking you to pretend the waiting is easy. I am not asking you to deny your desire for things to change. I am asking you to trust that I know what I am doing. I am asking you to believe that my timing is perfect, even when it feels agonizingly slow. I am asking you to hold on to hope, even when hope feels foolish. This is the faith of a mustard seed in action. Small, simple, but powerful enough to move mountains. Let me speak to you about rest. I know you are tired. I see the exhaustion in your soul. The pace of life in your world is unsustainable. You are constantly connected, constantly available, constantly productive. Even your leisure is often just another form of consumption rather than true rest. Your mind rarely stops. Your body rarely fully relaxes. Your spirit rarely experiences the deep Sabbath rest I designed you to enjoy. Rest is not laziness. Let me free you from that lie. Rest is not unproductive. It is actually one of the most productive things you can do. When you rest, you are declaring that the world does not depend on your constant activity. When you rest, you are acknowledging that I am God and you are not. When you rest, you are trusting that what cannot get done can be left undone without the world falling apart. Rest is a radical act of faith. I modeled rest in creation. After 6 days of creative work, I rested on the 7th. Not because I was tired. I do not grow weary. I rested to establish a pattern for humanity to follow. The Sabbath was made for you. It is a gift, not a burden. It is an invitation to step off the treadmill and catch your breath. It is permission to stop performing and simply be. In my presence, rest is always available. The rest I offer is deeper than physical sleep, though sleep is important. The rest I offer is soul rest. It is the peace that comes from no longer striving to earn what has already been given. It is the release from the need to prove yourself. It is the freedom from the tyranny of endless achievement. When you understand that my love for you is not based on your productivity, something relaxes deep within you. You can finally exhale. You can finally stop running. You can finally be still. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. This is not an empty promise. It is a standing invitation, but it requires coming. You must actually stop and approach me. You must put down the to-do list and pick up the awareness of my presence. You must close the laptop and open your heart. Rest does not happen automatically. It is a choice. And it is a choice I am begging you to make more often. The strength I have given you needs to be replenished regularly. Even the strongest battery requires recharging. You are not infinite. You have limits. And those limits are not character flaws. They are design features. I made you finite on purpose. Your limitations are meant to drive you to me as your unlimited source. When you hit the wall of your own exhaustion, that wall is actually a signpost pointing to my sufficiency. Rest also includes resting from mental and emotional labor. Some of the heaviest work is not physical. It is the constant processing of information, the endless decision-making, the carrying of relational tensions, the worrying about things outside your control. This kind of work often continues even when your body is technically resting. That is why you can sleep 8 hours and still wake up tired. Your mind never stopped working. Your soul never stopped carrying. I want to teach you to cast your cares on me, not just once, but continually. Every time you notice anxiety rising, that is a cue to transfer the weight. Every time worry begins its familiar spiral, that is an invitation to release the burden. You were never designed to carry these things alone. Your shoulders are not broad enough. Your strength is not sufficient. But mine is, and I am willing. So willing that I literally invite you to throw your cares at me. I can handle them. You cannot. Let me speak about your past. I know there are things back there that still haunt you. Regrets that surface unexpectedly. Memories that carry pain even after all these years. Decisions you wish you could unmake. Words you wish you could unsay. People you wish you had treated differently. The past has a way of refusing to stay in the past. It keeps showing up in the present, coloring your experiences and influencing your choices. I want to bring freedom to your relationship with your past. Not by erasing it. That is not possible. What happened, happened. But by redeeming it, by changing its meaning, by transforming it from a source of shame into a source of testimony. The very things the enemy meant to use against you can become weapons in your hands against him. When you share your story, including the dark chapters, others find hope for their own stories. The forgiveness I offer covers everything. There is no sin too big. There is no failure too frequent. There is no shame too deep. The blood of my Son is sufficient for all of it. When I say you are forgiven, I mean it completely, not partially, not conditionally, not temporarily. I remove your sins as far as the east is from the west. I remember them no more. I do not bring them up. I do not hold them against you. They are gone, finished, paid for. But forgiving yourself is often harder than receiving my forgiveness. You tend to hold on to guilt long after I have released it. You punish yourself for things I have already forgotten. This is not humility. It is a form of pride that says your sins are bigger than my grace. It is an insult to the sacrifice of my Son. When you refuse to forgive yourself for something I have forgiven, you are saying that his death was not enough. Please stop. Receive the freedom that has been purchased at such great cost. You also need to extend forgiveness to others. I know some people have hurt you deeply. I know the wounds were real and the damage was significant. I am not minimizing what was done to you. Justice matters to me. I see every wrong that has been committed against you, and I will make all things right in my time. But holding on to unforgiveness is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. It only hurts you. It does not punish them. It chains you to the past when I want to free you for the future. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was okay. It does not mean you have to trust the person again. It does not mean you have to maintain relationship with someone who is toxic. It simply means you release them from your demand for repayment. You let go of the debt they owe. You transfer the case from your court to mine. And then you are free. Free to move forward. Free to heal. Free to live without the constant weight of bitterness. The strength I have given you includes strength to forgive. It is not natural. It goes against every instinct. But my spirit within you makes it possible. Ask me for the grace to release those who have wronged you. Ask me for the ability to bless those who have cursed you. This is the way of my kingdom, and it is the path to freedom. Let me speak about your future. I know it seems uncertain. I know you cannot see what lies ahead, but I can. I know every day that is written in your book. I see the ending from the beginning, and I want to assure you that I am already there. Not just here with you in the present, but simultaneously present in your future, preparing the way, arranging circumstances, positioning people, opening doors. The future does not scare me. It should not scare you either. Not because everything will be easy, but because I will be there. The same presence that has sustained you until now will sustain you through whatever comes. My faithfulness does not have an expiration date. It stretches from everlasting to everlasting, in the past, in the present, in the future. Forever, I am the same. I have plans for you. Plans for good and not for evil. Plans to give you a future and a hope. These plans were not made after observing your performance. They were made before you were born. They are based on my love for you, not on your worthiness, and they will not be thwarted by your failures. I am powerful enough to work even your mistakes into my greater design. Nothing takes me by surprise. Nothing catches me off guard. I am the master of working all things together for good. Some of my plans will unfold in ways you expect. You will see them coming. You will recognize them when they arrive. But other plans will surprise you completely. They will come from directions you never anticipated. They will involve people you have not yet met. They will open doors you did not know existed. Stay flexible, stay expectant, and stay surrendered. My plans are always better than yours, even when they do not look like what you imagined. Do not let fear of the future steal your present peace. So much energy is wasted worrying about things that may never happen. So much joy is forfeited because of preoccupation with worst-case scenarios. I am asking you to trust me one day at a time. Do not try to carry the burden of next year in the strength of this moment. Each day has enough trouble of its own, and each day also has enough grace. My mercies are new every morning, sufficient for that day. not borrowed from tomorrow, not stockpiled from yesterday, fresh for right now. Let me speak to you about gratitude. This is more than a nice feeling. It is a spiritual weapon. It is a posture of the heart that changes everything. When you choose gratitude, you are declaring that I am good despite circumstances that might suggest otherwise. You are announcing that what you have is enough, even when the world tells you it is not. You are positioning yourself to receive more because a grateful heart is an open heart. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present. There is always something to be grateful for. Always. Even in the darkest seasons, if you look carefully, you will find evidence of my goodness. The breath in your lungs, the ability to hear these words, the fact that you are still here, still fighting, still believing. These are not small things. They are gifts that many would trade everything for. I want you to develop a practice of intentional gratitude, not just occasional appreciation when things go well, but daily discipline to find and name what you are thankful for. This rewires your brain. It trains your heart. It transforms your perspective. People who practice gratitude are healthier, happier, and more resilient. This is not just spiritual truth. It is scientifically proven. I designed you to thrive in an atmosphere of thankfulness. When you face difficulty, gratitude becomes even more important. It is easy to be thankful when everything is going well, but choosing gratitude in hardship is a declaration of faith. It says that you trust me even when understanding fails. It says that you believe my goodness is not dependent on comfortable circumstances. It says that you refuse to let your current situation define your view of who I am. I am grateful for you. Did you know that? You are not just a project I am working on. You are not merely a soul I am saving. You are someone I delight in. Your existence brings me joy. When I look at you, I do not see all the ways you fall short. I see my beloved child. I see potential and purpose. I see someone worth dying for. Because that is exactly what I did. My son went to the cross because you are worth that much to me. Let me speak about love. Not the shallow love that the world celebrates. Not the emotion that comes and goes with feelings. Real love. The love that I am. For I am love. It is not just something I do or something I feel. It is the essence of my being. Everything I do flows from love. Everything I say originates in love. Everything I allow or prevent is filtered through the lens of love. My love for you is not like human love. Human love is often conditional. It withdraws when disappointed. It fades when familiarity breeds contempt. It fails when tested by time or difficulty. But my love never fails. It is steadfast. It is unconditional. It is eternal. You cannot make me stop loving you. You can resist my love. You can refuse my love, but you cannot change it. It simply is. Understanding my love changes everything. When you truly believe that you are loved unconditionally, fear loses its grip. Performance loses its pressure. Comparison loses its power. You stop trying to earn what has already been given. You stop striving to achieve what is already yours. You rest in the reality of being loved. And from that rest, everything else flows more naturally. I want my love to flow through you to others. You have freely received. Now freely give. Love the difficult people. Love the unlovable ones. Love those who have nothing to offer in return. This is how you look like me. This is how the world knows that you are my disciple. Not by your religious activities, not by your doctrinal correctness, but by your love. If you have faith to move mountains but do not have love, you are nothing more than a noisy gong. Love is patient. It does not demand immediate change in others. It gives people room to grow at their own pace. Love is kind. It actively looks for ways to bless, to encourage, to lift up. It is not passive. It is engaged. Love does not envy. It celebrates the success of others without comparison or competition. Love does not boast. It does not need to announce itself. It serves quietly, without seeking recognition. Love is not proud. It does not consider itself better than others. It maintains humility, even when it could rightfully claim superiority. Love does not dishonor others. It treats every person with dignity, regardless of status or appearance. Love is not self-seeking. It considers the needs of others as important as its own. It sacrifices without resentment. Love is not easily angered. It has a long fuse. It gives the benefit of the doubt. It does not fly off the handle at every offense. Love keeps no record of wrongs. It does not store up ammunition for future arguments. It forgives and releases. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It celebrates what is right and grieves what is wrong. Love always protects. It creates safe space. It shields the vulnerable. It stands between danger and those who are treasured. Love always trusts, not naively, but hopefully. It believes the best until proven otherwise. Love always hopes. It refuses to give up on people. It sees potential when others see only problems. Love always perseveres. It does not quit when things get hard. It stays when everyone else leaves. This is the love I have for you. Every single characteristic on that list applies to how I love you. And this is the love I am developing in you. Not as a set of rules to follow, but as a natural expression of who you are becoming as you spend time with me. Love is not manufactured by effort. It is cultivated by connection. The more you abide in my love, the more love flows from you. Let me speak about hope. This world is full of hopelessness. People have lost faith in institutions, in leaders, in each other, in the future. Depression and despair are epidemic. Suicide rates climb as people conclude that life is not worth living. Into this darkness, I offer hope. Real hope. Not optimism based on favorable circumstances. Hope anchored in my character and my promises. The hope I give does not disappoint. It is not wishful thinking that will be proven false. It is confident expectation based on who I am. When you hope in me, you hope in the one who spoke galaxies into existence. You hope in the one who conquered death. You hope in the one whose word never returns void. This is not a gamble. This is the surest bet in the universe. Hope is essential for survival. Without hope, the human spirit withers. It gives up. It stops trying. Hope is the oxygen of the soul. It keeps you moving forward when logic says there is no point. It keeps you praying when circumstances say prayers are useless. It keeps you believing when evidence screams that belief is foolish. Hope is stubborn in the best possible way. I want to fill you with hope that overflows. Not just enough hope to barely make it through. Abundance of hope. Hope that spills out of you onto others. Hope that is contagious. When people encounter you, they should leave feeling more hopeful than when they arrived. Not because you pretended everything was fine, but because you introduced them to the source of all hope. Hope and faith are closely connected. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. When you have genuine hope in something I have promised, faith naturally follows. And when faith is present, my power is activated. So hope is not passive. It is not just waiting and wishing. It is active expectation that positions you to receive what I want to give. Let me speak about joy. This is different from happiness. Happiness depends on happenings. When things go well, you are happy. When things go poorly, you are unhappy. But joy is deeper. Joy is a settled confidence that regardless of circumstances, you are loved, you are held, you are going to be okay. Joy does not ignore pain. It exists alongside it. You can have joy and sorrow at the same time. Strange, but true. I want you to have fullness of joy, not the fake joy that puts on a smile while dying inside. Real joy, deep joy. Joy that comes from my presence, because in my presence is fullness of joy. This joy is not dependent on everything going right. It is dependent on staying connected to me who is always right. When your soul is anchored in me, joy becomes possible in any circumstance. Joy is also a weapon in spiritual warfare. The enemy hates when you have joy because it demonstrates that his attacks are not succeeding in their ultimate purpose. He wants to steal, kill, and destroy. He wants to drag you into despair. When you maintain joy despite his best efforts, you are testifying that he is a defeated foe. Your joy becomes a victory shout that echoes through the heavens. I have experienced joy because of you. When you chose to follow me, heaven celebrated. When you stepped out in faith, I smiled. When you showed love to someone who did not deserve it, I was delighted. You bring me joy. Not when you perform perfectly. You bring me joy simply because you are my child. A parent does not need the child to accomplish great things to feel joy. The child's existence is enough. Let me speak about peace. I left my peace with you. Not the peace the world gives, which is merely the absence of conflict. My peace is the presence of harmony, of wholeness, of shalom. It is deep wellness in your innermost being. It transcends circumstances. It guards your heart and mind. It is supernatural in origin and cannot be manufactured by human effort. Peace is the natural state of a soul in proper relationship with me. When your connection to me is healthy, peace flows automatically. When that connection is disrupted by sin, by neglect, by distraction, peace diminishes. This is not punishment. It is simply cause and effect. Peace is a fruit of abiding in me. When you stop abiding, the fruit stops growing. The solution is always to return to connection. Many people pursue peace through external means. They try to control their environment. They try to eliminate all sources of stress. They try to create perfect circumstances. But this never works because peace is an inside job. External peace without internal peace is an illusion. You can be in the most beautiful, calm setting in the world and still have turmoil in your soul. Conversely, you can be in chaos and have profound peace within. I am the Prince of Peace. This is not just a title. It is my nature. When I walk into a room, peace walks in with me. When I speak, peace accompanies my words. When you spend time in my presence, peace infuses your being. You cannot spend consistent time with me and not experience increasing peace. It is inevitable. My peace is contagious. I want to release peace over your mind right now. The anxious thoughts that have been circling, the worries that have kept you awake, the fears about the future. I speak peace to all of it, not because the concerns are not valid, but because my sovereignty overshadows them all. What you are worried about is not bigger than me. What you fear is not more powerful than me. So peace is the appropriate response when you remember who I am. Let me speak about patience. This is a fruit of my spirit that often takes the longest to develop. Patience is not passive waiting. It is active endurance. It is continuing to do what is right when results are not yet visible. It is trusting my timing when your timing says things should have happened already. It is refusing to give up even when giving up seems reasonable. I am patient with you. So patient. You have no idea how many times you have tested my patience and found it inexhaustible. Every time you sinned the same sin again, I did not give up on you. Every time you made the same mistake, I did not abandon you. Every time you doubted my goodness, I did not stop being good. My patience is an expression of my love. I am patient because I am committed to your growth, and I know that growth takes time. I want to develop patience in you, not so that you can endure suffering better, though that is a side benefit, but so that you can love people better. Patient love is the most powerful kind. When you are patient with someone's weakness, you give them room to grow. When you are patient with someone's process, you honor their journey. When you are patient with someone's failures, you reflect my heart toward them. Patience is also required for my promises to be fulfilled in your life. I have spoken things over you that have not yet manifested. The gap between promise and fulfillment requires patience. If you give up too soon, you forfeit what was coming. If you demand fulfillment on your timeline, you create frustration that poisons your experience. But if you exercise patience, trusting that my timing is perfect, you position yourself to receive with joy when the time is right. Let me speak about kindness. This seems like a simple virtue, but it is actually profound. Kindness is love in action toward others. It is noticing needs and meeting them. It is speaking words that build up rather than tear down. It is treating people better than they deserve. It is creating a little bit of heaven wherever you go. I am kind. This is one of my attributes that is often overlooked. People think of me as powerful, as holy, as just. All true, but I am also kind. Deeply, tenderly, consistently kind. My kindness has led many to repentance. Not my anger, not my judgment, my kindness. When people encounter genuine kindness from me, something softens in them. They realize they are not facing a harsh taskmaster, but a loving Father. The world is desperate for kindness. People are so accustomed to harshness, to judgment, to criticism. When someone shows them true kindness, it stands out. It stops them in their tracks. It makes them wonder what is different. I want you to be a carrier of kindness wherever you go. Not the fake kindness that is really just people-pleasing. Real kindness that comes from a heart filled with my love. Small acts of kindness can have enormous impact. A kind word spoken at the right moment can literally save a life. A kind gesture can become the turning point in someone's journey. Never underestimate what I can do through a simple act of kindness flowing from you. These small things accumulate. They create ripples that spread far beyond what you can see. The kindness you show will touch people you will never meet. Let me speak about goodness. I am good. This is the foundation of everything. If I were not good, nothing else would matter. All my power, all my knowledge, all my presence would be terrifying rather than comforting if goodness were not at the core. But I am good. Thoroughly, completely, unchangeably good, and my goodness is directed toward you. Every good gift comes from me. Every good thing you have experienced has its origin in my generous heart. The beauty of a sunset, the taste of delicious food, the laughter of a child, the warmth of genuine friendship, the satisfaction of meaningful work. All of these came from me. I love giving good gifts to my children. It brings me pleasure to bless you. My goodness includes discipline. This might seem contradictory, but it is not. A good parent disciplines their children, not to hurt them, but to help them. Not from anger, but from love. When I discipline you, it is evidence of my goodness. I care enough about your growth to correct your course when you are heading in the wrong direction. I love you too much to let you destroy yourself without intervention. Trust my goodness when you do not understand what is happening. This is the challenge of faith. When circumstances seem to contradict my goodness, what will you believe? The circumstances or my character? I am asking you to hold on to my goodness as an anchor when storms rage and nothing makes sense. I am good. I was good before your trouble started. I will be good after it ends. And I am good in the middle of it, even when evidence seems scarce. Let me speak about faithfulness. This is one of my most precious attributes. I keep my promises. I follow through. I do not forget what I have spoken. I do not change my mind based on moods. What I have said, I will do. This faithfulness has been demonstrated throughout human history. Not once have I failed to keep a promise. The track record is perfect, and it will remain perfect with you. My faithfulness is not contingent on your faithfulness. This is important to understand. If my faithfulness depended on yours, no one would experience it. But it depends on my character, not yours. Even when you are faithless, I remain faithful. I cannot deny myself. This does not mean your faithfulness does not matter. It matters greatly. But it matters for your benefit, not as a condition for my commitment. I want to develop faithfulness in you. Not the faithfulness of perfection, but the faithfulness of direction. Faithful people are not those who never fail. They are those who keep returning. They keep choosing me even after they have wandered. They keep believing even after doubt has visited. They keep loving even after love has been wounded. This kind of faithfulness is what I am building in you. Be faithful in small things. This is where trustworthiness is developed. If you are faithful with little, you will be entrusted with much. Do not despise small responsibilities. They are training grounds for greater ones. Do not neglect small commitments. They reveal your character. Do not overlook small kindnesses. They accumulate into something significant. Faithfulness in small things positions you for promotion to larger things. Let me speak about gentleness. This is strength under control. It is not weakness. Weak people cannot choose to be gentle because they have no strength to restrain. Gentleness is the power to crush exercised in the restraint to caress. It is capability combined with compassion. It is the ability to be harsh, choosing instead to be kind. I am gentle with you. Though I have all power, I do not bulldoze. I woo. I invite. I draw with cords of loving kindness. My approach is not harsh or domineering. I am gentle and humble in heart. When you come to me, you find rest because my yoke is easy and my burden is light. I do not pile heavy loads on your back without helping you carry them. My gentleness makes room for your weakness. Gentleness is desperately needed in this world. Harsh words fly constantly. Aggressive postures dominate. People attack first and ask questions later. Into this environment, I send you as a person of gentleness, not a doormat to be walked on. Gentleness is not passivity, but someone who chooses restraint when aggression would be easy. Someone who speaks softly when shouting would be justified. Someone who offers grace when judgment would be deserved. A gentle answer turns away wrath. This wisdom has been proven countless times. When someone attacks you verbally, a gentle response disarms them. They are prepared for a fight. When you do not give them one, they are thrown off balance. Gentleness is actually a strategic advantage in conflict. It does not mean you agree or surrender. It means you refuse to let their aggression dictate your response. Let me speak about self-control. This is the final fruit of my spirit in the classic list, but it is certainly not least important. Self-control is the ability to say no to impulses that would lead you astray. It is the discipline to delay gratification. It is the freedom from being mastered by your desires. Without self-control, all other virtues are undermined. I give you the power for self-control. This is not something you manufacture through willpower alone. Your will is important. It is the steering wheel. But I provide the engine. When you rely on my spirit, you have access to power that enables you to resist what would once have been irresistible. Temptations that used to defeat you can be overcome. Habits that used to control you can be broken. Self-control is freedom, not bondage. The world presents self-control as restrictive, as killing joy. But the opposite is true. Lack of self-control leads to bondage. Addictions form, consequences accumulate, freedom shrinks. But self-control expands freedom. When you are not mastered by impulses, you have choices. You can pursue what truly matters rather than being jerked around by every passing desire. Develop self-control in small areas first. If you cannot say no to a second helping of dessert, you will struggle to say no to larger temptations. If you cannot discipline your thoughts in quiet moments, you will be overwhelmed in stressful ones. Practice self-control as a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start small, build gradually, and celebrate progress without demanding perfection. Let me speak to you about the battles that are still ahead. I have told you about how I strengthened you through past struggles. Now I want to prepare you for what is coming. Not to create fear, but to create readiness. A soldier who knows a battle is coming prepares differently than one who is surprised. I am giving you advance notice so that you can stand firm when challenges arise. The enemy has not given up on destroying you. Just because you have survived his previous attacks does not mean he has moved on to other targets. He is persistent. He is patient. He watches for opportune times. He looks for moments of weakness, times when your guard is down, seasons when you are distracted or exhausted. He will attempt new strategies when old ones fail. So you must remain vigilant, but do not be afraid. The same God who brought you through what is behind you will bring you through what is ahead. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind. The strength I have built in you is not fragile. It does not crumble under pressure. It has been tested and proven. What you have already survived demonstrates that you can survive what is coming. You are tougher than you know. I want to teach you about spiritual armor. This is not metaphor for nice concepts. This is real equipment for real warfare. When you put on my armor, you are genuinely protected in ways that matter eternally. Let me walk you through each piece so that you understand what is available to you. The belt of truth holds everything together. In the spiritual realm, truth is foundational. When you know and believe and speak truth, you have stability. The enemy's primary weapon is deception. He lies about me. He lies about you. He lies about your circumstances. He lies about your future. But when you are anchored in truth, his lies cannot find a place to land. They bounce off your belt and fall harmless to the ground. The breastplate of righteousness protects your vital organs spiritually speaking. Righteousness here does not mean your own good works. It means the righteousness of Christ that has been credited to you. When you know that you are righteous in my sight because of Jesus, not because of your performance, your heart is protected. Condemnation cannot pierce you. Guilt cannot wound you. You stand confident not because you are perfect, but because you are covered. The shoes of the gospel of peace give you sure footing. When you know the good news, when you have experienced peace with me through Jesus, your stance is stable. You are not sliding around on uncertain ground. You know where you stand. This stability allows you to advance into enemy territory rather than constantly retreating. Your feet are fitted with readiness to move when I say move. The shield of faith extinguishes the flaming arrows of the enemy. These arrows are his attacks, accusations, temptations, fears, doubts. They come flying at you constantly, but faith catches them. When you believe my promises more than you believe his threats, the arrows lose their power. They hit your shield and their flames are quenched. Faith is not passive protection. You must actively raise it. You must choose to believe. The helmet of salvation protects your mind. Your head is where the enemy most wants to attack. If he can mess with your thinking, he can mess with everything. But when you know you are saved, when your salvation is settled, your mind has protection. The helmet covers your thoughts about identity, about security, about destiny. Knowing you belong to me protects you from mental attacks that would otherwise devastate. The sword of the Spirit is my word. This is your offensive weapon. Everything else is defensive. But the sword allows you to attack. When you know my word and can speak it, you can cut through enemy lies. You can declare truth that changes atmospheres. Jesus used this weapon when tempted in the wilderness. To every attack, he responded with "It is written." This is your model. Know my word, memorize my word, speak my word, wield it skillfully. Finally, prayer is the atmosphere in which all this warfare takes place. Pray at all times in the Spirit. Prayer is not just a religious activity. It is communication that connects heaven and earth. It is how you receive instructions for battle. It is how you access my power in real time. It is how you call for reinforcements when you are overwhelmed. Never stop praying. Make it as natural as breathing. I want to speak about community. You were not designed to walk this journey alone. The enemy knows this. That is why he works so hard to isolate you. He whispers that nobody understands. He convinces you that you are better off alone. He uses past hurts to make you wary of connection. But isolation is dangerous. Alone, you are vulnerable. Together, you are strong. I have placed people in your life for a reason. Some are there to encourage you. Some are there to challenge you. Some are there to walk with you through difficult seasons. Some are there for you to encourage, challenge, and walk with. Community is not one-directional. It is mutual. You receive and you give. Both are essential for health. Find your people. These are the ones who genuinely know you and love you anyway. These are the ones you can be honest with about your struggles. These are the ones who will pray for you, not just say they will. These are the ones who will speak truth, even when it is uncomfortable. These are the ones who will celebrate your victories without jealousy. These are the ones who will stand with you in battle. Church community is important. I know the church has hurt many people. I know that religious institutions have failed in terrible ways. But the church, as I designed it, as a family of believers who love each other and love me, is still my plan. Do not give up on finding genuine community just because you have experienced counterfeit. Not every church is healthy, but healthy churches exist. Seek one out. Commit to it. Let yourself be known. Do not isolate when you are struggling. This is when you need community most, but it is when you are most tempted to pull away. When you are depressed, reach out. When you are doubting, reach out. When you are failing, reach out. The enemy wants you to believe that you must have it all together before you can be part of community. That is a lie. Community is precisely for those who do not have it together, which is everyone. Let me speak about generations. Your life does not exist in isolation. You are part of a family line that stretches back through history and will continue after you are gone. What you do affects more than just yourself. The choices you make, the faith you build, the patterns you establish ripple forward into your children and grandchildren and beyond. Some of you carry generational baggage, patterns of sin, cycles of dysfunction, strongholds that have held your family line for decades or even centuries. These are real. They have real impact, but they are not more powerful than my blood. The curse of generational sin can be broken. The cycle can end with you. What has been passed down can be stopped from passing further. This is part of the strength I have placed in you. You are a transitional generation. This means you have the opportunity to change the trajectory of your family line. What was true for your parents and grandparents does not have to be true for your children and grandchildren. You can be the one who breaks the cycle. You can be the bridge between dysfunction and health. This is weighty responsibility, but it is also glorious opportunity. I want you to think about your legacy, not in a morbid way, but in a purposeful way. What will be said about you when you are gone? How will your great-grandchildren describe you? What inheritance will you leave beyond financial assets? The most important things you can pass down are not material. They are spiritual. Faith, hope, love, character, relationship with me. These are the heirlooms that truly matter. Live with generations in mind. Make decisions that consider not just immediate impact, but long-term consequences. Sacrifice present comfort for future blessing. Build foundations that others will build upon. Plant trees whose shade you will never sit under. This long view changes how you approach everything. It injects meaning into the mundane. Even small faithful acts compound over generations. Let me speak about stewardship. Everything you have is entrusted, not owned. Your time, your talents, your treasure, your body, your relationships, your opportunities, all of it belongs to me. I have simply given you responsibility to manage it during your brief time on earth. This perspective changes everything. You are not an owner making decisions about your possessions. You are a manager who will give account to the owner. Stewardship brings freedom. When you realize it is all mine anyway, the pressure lifts. You do not have to accumulate for your own security. You can give generously because you trust me to provide. You can risk boldly because you are not protecting your own stuff. You can hold things loosely because you know their ultimate owner. Ownership creates anxiety. Stewardship creates freedom. Steward your time well. This is your most precious resource because it is non-renewable. Once a moment passes, it cannot be recovered. How you spend your time reveals your true priorities. Do not waste it on things that do not matter. Invest it in people, in purpose, in presence with me. Evaluate your calendar regularly. Does it reflect what you claim to value most? Steward your talents well. I have given you abilities that are unique to you. These are not for your own benefit primarily. They are for the benefit of others and for my glory. Develop your gifts. Use your gifts. Do not bury them in the ground out of fear or laziness. You will give account for what you did with what you were given. Hear me say to you one day, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Steward your treasure well. Money is a tool. It can be used for great good or great harm. The love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. but money itself is neutral. Be generous. Give to those in need. Support kingdom work. Invest in eternal things. Do not hoard. Do not build bigger barns while ignoring the poor at your gate. How you handle money reveals your heart. Steward your relationships well. People are not accessories to your life. They are gifts entrusted to your care. Nurture your relationships. Invest time in them. Listen more than you speak. Be present when you are with people rather than distracted. Every person in your life is there by my design. Treat them accordingly. Let me speak about eternity. This life is not all there is. What happens here matters, but it is not the whole story. You are an eternal being having a temporary earthly experience. The decisions you make, the faith you develop, the love you show, all have eternal implications. Live with that awareness. Heaven is real. It is not a fairy tale invented to comfort the grieving. It is not a metaphor for a nice feeling. It is an actual place, more real than your current reality. And I am preparing a place there for you. When your time on earth ends, you will step into something so glorious that your current suffering will seem light and momentary by comparison. Eye has not seen and ear has not heard what I have prepared. Hell is also real. I must tell you this because I love you too much to let you be deceived. Eternal separation from me is the destination for those who reject my offer of salvation. This is not a threat meant to manipulate. It is a warning meant to inform. I do not want anyone to perish. I want everyone to come to repentance, but I will not force anyone. The choice is yours. Your choices in this life echo in eternity. This gives weight to what might otherwise seem insignificant. A word spoken in my name can have eternal impact on someone's soul. An act of kindness can be a link in the chain that leads someone to salvation. A prayer offered can shift eternal destinies. Nothing is small when viewed through eternal lenses. Let this eternal perspective shape your priorities. What will matter in 10,000 years? Not your career achievements, not your bank account, not your social status. What will matter is whether you knew me and whether you helped others know me. Everything else fades. Only what is done for eternal purposes lasts. Let me speak to you about surrender. This is the key to everything. It is the hardest thing I ask, and also the most liberating. Surrender means releasing control. It means trusting me more than you trust yourself. It means saying, not my will, but yours be done. It means opening your hands and your heart to whatever I want to do. Surrender is not defeat. In worldly thinking, surrender means you lost. But in my kingdom, surrender is victory. It is the moment when you stop fighting against me and start flowing with me. It is the transition from striving to resting. It is the exchange of your limited wisdom for my unlimited wisdom. Surrender is not the end. It is the beginning of everything good. I know surrender is scary. It means giving up control, and control feels safe even when it is an illusion. The truth is, you never really had control anyway. You cannot control what happens to you. You can barely control how you respond. The control you cling to is mostly imaginary, so surrendering it costs less than you think and gains more than you can imagine. Surrender happens in layers. You surrender something to me and feel free. Then you discover another area you were holding back. So you surrender that, then another, and another. This process continues throughout your life. It is not a one-time event, but an ongoing posture. Each act of surrender takes you deeper into freedom and closer to me. What are you still holding back? What areas of your life have you not yet released to me? What do you fear losing if you surrender completely? These are important questions. I already know the answers. I am asking so that you will know. Awareness is the first step towards surrender. You cannot release what you do not acknowledge you are holding. Surrender your relationships. Let me have them. Stop trying to manipulate outcomes. Stop trying to control people. Release your grip on loved ones. Trust me with their journeys. This does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying what only I can carry. You do your part and leave the results to me. Surrender your career. Let me direct your steps. Be willing to stay where you are if I am in it. Be willing to leave if I am calling you elsewhere. Do not make your identity dependent on your job title. Do not sacrifice what matters most for professional advancement. Let me define success for you. Surrender your future. Stop trying to figure everything out before it happens. Stop demanding certainty before you will move. Release your grip on plans and timelines. Be flexible. Be adaptable. Be ready for the unexpected. My plans are better than yours, but following them requires releasing yours. Surrender your reputation. Stop managing how people perceive you. Stop worrying about what others think. Their opinion is not your concern. My opinion is all that matters, and I already approve of you. I already love you. You do not need to earn anyone's validation. When you surrender your reputation, you become free to do what I ask regardless of how it looks. Surrender your rights. You have certain things you feel entitled to. Comfort, fairness, recognition, respect. But clinging to your rights puts you in constant conflict. Someone will always violate them. When you surrender your rights to me, you exchange them for grace. You stop demanding what you deserve and start receiving what I freely give. This is freedom. Let me speak about worship. This is what you were created for. Before anything else, you were made to worship me. Not because I am needy and require constant praise, but because worship is the proper orientation of created being toward Creator. When you worship, you are aligned with reality. When you do not worship, you are denying what is most true about existence. Worship is more than singing songs. It includes that, but it is far bigger. Worship is a lifestyle. It is doing everything for my glory. It is offering your body as a living sacrifice. It is giving me the weight and worth that I deserve in every area of your life. A worship song that lasts 3 minutes means little if the rest of your week contradicts it. When you worship, something shifts in the spiritual realm. Worship creates an atmosphere where my presence is tangibly manifest. It invites me to move in ways that only happen when my people are focused on me rather than on their problems. Worship is spiritual warfare. It declares my worth over the enemy's lies. It proclaims my victory over his defeat. The enemy flees from genuine worship because it reminds him of who I am. Worship is also good for you. When you focus on me, your problems shrink to their proper size. When you declare my attributes, your faith is strengthened. When you thank me for what I have done, your hope is renewed. Worship is not just an obligation you owe. It is a gift that returns blessing to the giver. You cannot outgive me even in worship. Let me speak about intimacy with me. This is what I most desire. Not your service, though I value it. Not your sacrifice, though I receive it. Not your performance, though I watch it. I want you. I want relationship. I want connection. I want to know you and be known by you. I want the kind of closeness that changes everything. I am not a distant God. I am not far off in heaven, unconcerned with the details of your life. I am near, closer than your own heartbeat, more interested in you than you can comprehend. I know every hair on your head. I know every thought before you think it. I know every word before you speak it. And I still pursue relationship with you, not in spite of knowing you completely, but because of it. You can have intimacy with me. This is available to you right now. It does not require special credentials. It does not require years of religious training. It simply requires approaching me with an open heart. Come to me, spend time in my presence, talk to me honestly, listen for my voice. Let me love you, let me speak to you, let me hold you. This is what I want more than anything else. Intimacy grows over time. Just like any relationship, it deepens as you invest in it. The more time you spend with me, the more you know me. The more you share with me, the closer we become. Do not expect instant depth, but do expect genuine connection from the very first moment you turn toward me. I am always ready. I am always available. I never turn away those who come. Guard your intimacy with me. The enemy will try to disrupt it. He will distract you with busyness. He will convince you that other things are more urgent. He will make you feel unworthy of my presence. He will do anything to keep you from the connection that gives you life. Recognize his tactics. Resist them. Prioritize our relationship above everything else. Let me speak about my voice. I speak. I have not gone silent since the last words of Scripture were written. I am a God who communicates. I want you to hear me. I want to guide you, comfort you, correct you, encourage you. But hearing my voice requires learning to listen. I speak through my written word. This is the primary way I communicate. Scripture is not ancient history. It is living and active. When you read it with an open heart, it speaks directly to your situation. The same Spirit who inspired the writers illuminates the reading. Make my word a regular part of your life, not as religious duty but as relationship conversation. I speak through circumstances. Doors open and close by my hand. Opportunities arise and disappear according to my timing. Pay attention to what is happening around you. Look for patterns. Consider what I might be saying through the events of your life. This requires discernment. Not every circumstance is a message, but many are, for those who have eyes to see. I speak through other people. Sometimes I use fellow believers to speak words you need to hear. Sometimes I use unlikely sources that surprise you. Be open to hearing me through human voices, but test everything against my written word. I will never contradict myself. If someone claims to speak for me but what they say conflicts with Scripture, trust the Scripture. I speak through an inner voice. This is often described as a still small voice. It is not usually audible, though it can be. More often it is an impression, a knowing, a sense of direction. Learning to recognize this voice takes time. You will make mistakes. You will sometimes think you heard me when you did not. But keep listening. Keep practicing. Over time you will grow more confident in distinguishing my voice from others. The key to hearing me is not technique. It is relationship. Those who spend time with me learn to recognize me. Just like you can identify the voice of a close friend on the phone without them saying their name, you can learn to identify my voice because you know me. Invest in relationship. Hearing will follow. Let me speak about transformation. This is what I am doing in you. I am not merely improving your behavior. I am changing you from the inside out. I am making you new. Not better versions of the old you. Actually, new. The old is gone. The new has come. This transformation is ongoing. It continues until you see me face to face and the process is complete. Transformation happens by renewing your mind. The way you think determines the way you live. Old thought patterns produce old behavior patterns. New thought patterns produce new behavior patterns. This is why I ask you to meditate on my word, to fill your mind with truth, to take every thought captive. What you allow into your mind shapes who you become. Transformation is not instantaneous, but it is certain. From the moment you gave your life to me, the transformation began. It will not be complete until eternity, but progress is happening. Sometimes you can see it. Often you cannot. Trust the process even when results seem slow. A caterpillar becoming a butterfly does not look like much is happening in the cocoon, but transformation is occurring nonetheless. You are being transformed into my likeness. This is the goal. Not to become a better human by worldly standards, but to become like Jesus. His character becoming your character. His heart becoming your heart. His priorities becoming your priorities. This is the destination. Every experience you have, good or bad, is either moving you toward that destination or revealing where you are resistant. Cooperate with your transformation. I will not force change on you. I invite it. I empower it. I guide it, but I do not override your will. The speed and depth of your transformation is affected by your cooperation. Those who actively participate in what I am doing transform faster and more thoroughly than those who passively wait for change to happen to them. Let me speak about your mind and its renewal. The battlefield of the mind is where so much is decided. Victories and defeats in other areas often trace back to what happens in your thought life. Guard your mind carefully. Be intentional about what you allow in. Be ruthless about what you refuse. Not every thought that enters your mind is your thought. Some are from me. Some are from the enemy. Some are from your own flesh. Learning to discern the source is crucial. My thoughts bring peace, hope, and alignment with Scripture. The enemy's thoughts bring fear, condemnation, and contradiction of my word. Your fleshly thoughts tend towards self-centeredness and immediate gratification. Practice discernment until it becomes automatic. Take every thought captive. This is not passive, it is active engagement. When a thought enters your mind that does not align with my truth, grab it, examine it, challenge it, replace it. Do not let negative, destructive, lying thoughts roam freely in your head. They are intruders. They do not belong. Evict them and replace them with truth. What you meditate on expands. If you meditate on your problems, they grow larger in your perception. If you meditate on my promises, they grow larger. If you meditate on fear, fear takes root. If you meditate on faith, faith flourishes. You have significant control over what dominates your mental landscape. Use that control wisely. Fill your mind with things that are true, noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, and praiseworthy. Let me speak about your words. There is power in what you say. I spoke the world into existence. Words create. Words destroy. The tongue has the power of life and death. Those who love it will eat its fruit. What comes out of your mouth matters far more than you might realize. Your words reveal your heart. Out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. If you want to know what is really in your heart, listen to what you say when you are not carefully monitoring your speech. Listen to what you say when you are angry, tired, or stressed. The words that flow in unguarded moments reveal the true contents of your inner being. Speak life. Deliberately choose words that build up rather than tear down. Speak blessings, not curses. Speak hope, not despair. Speak truth, not lies. Speak encouragement, not criticism. Your words have impact on those who hear them, but they also have impact on you. What you repeatedly say shapes what you believe. What you confess influences what you experience. Be slow to speak. Many regrets come from words spoken too quickly. Hasty speech causes damage that is difficult to repair. Before you speak, consider whether what you are about to say is true, helpful, inspiring, necessary, and kind. If it does not meet these criteria, perhaps it should remain unsaid. There is wisdom in fewer words. Let me speak about obedience. I have given you commands, not suggestions. Obedience is the appropriate response of a creature to the Creator. It is not optional for those who claim to love me. If you love me, you will obey my commands. This is not harsh requirement, it is logical reality. Love for me naturally produces obedience to me. Obedience is not legalism. Legalism is trying to earn my favor through rule following. Obedience flows from relationship. It comes from trust. You obey because you love me, and because you trust that my commands are for your good. I do not give rules arbitrarily. Every command serves a purpose. Every instruction leads to life. Partial obedience is disobedience. When you obey some of what I say but not all, you are still in rebellion. You are essentially claiming the right to edit my commands, to decide which ones are valid and which ones can be ignored. But I am Lord of all or not Lord at all. Selective obedience is not true obedience. It is self-in-charge pretending to follow. The blessings I offer flow through obedience. This is not transaction or bribery. It is simply how my kingdom works. When you align with my ways, you position yourself in the flow of my blessing. When you resist my ways, you step out of that flow. Obedience is like positioning yourself under a waterfall. Disobedience is like stepping to the side and wondering why you are not getting wet. Let me speak about your calling. You have one. Every person who belongs to me has been called to something specific. Your calling is unique. No one else has exactly the same assignment. The world needs what only you can bring. Do not dismiss your calling as unimportant. Do not compare it unfavorably to the callings of others. Your calling was determined before you were born. I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. I set you apart. I appointed you. The purposes I have for you were not afterthoughts. They were first thoughts. You were created on purpose for a purpose. Discovering and fulfilling that purpose is part of what life is about. Your calling will require your strengths. The abilities I gave you are not random. They are equipment for your assignment. But your calling will also require my strength working through your weakness. This is by design. If you could fulfill your calling entirely in your own strength, you would not need me. I have intentionally given you assignments that exceed your natural capacity so that my power would be displayed. Step into your calling. Do not wait until you feel completely ready. You will never feel completely ready. Do not wait until you have perfect clarity. You will gain clarity as you walk. Step out in faith. Take the next obvious step, and then the next. Calling is not usually revealed all at once. It unfolds as you move forward in obedience. Let me speak about faith in action. Faith without works is dead. This does not mean you earn salvation through works. It means genuine faith naturally produces action. If you truly believe what I have said, your life will show it. If you claim to believe but live unchanged, your faith is merely intellectual assent, not heart transformation. Real faith takes risks. It steps out before all the answers are clear. It obeys before understanding everything. It trusts my character when circumstances are confusing. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is action in spite of fear. Faith says, I do not see how this will work, but I trust you and I will move forward anyway. I am looking for faith. When I look at the earth, this is what I search for. Not perfect performance, not religious achievement, not impressive credentials. Faith, simple, genuine, active trust in me. When I find it, I am delighted. When I find it, I respond with power. Faith moves my hand in ways nothing else does. The measure of faith you have is the measure of faith you use. Faith grows by exercise. Each time you step out in trust and see me respond, your capacity for faith expands. Each time you stay safe and refuse to risk, your faith remains stunted. Do you want greater faith? Use the faith you have. Take steps of trust. Watch me work. And find that you are able to trust more than before. Let me speak about perseverance. The race marked out for you is not a sprint. It is a marathon. It requires endurance. Many start well but do not finish. They get discouraged. They get tired. They get distracted. I am calling you to be someone who finishes. Not just someone who begins with enthusiasm, but someone who crosses the finish line. Perseverance is not mere stubbornness. It is not continuing in the wrong direction simply because you are too proud to change. True perseverance is continuing in the right direction despite difficulty. It is holding on to what is true when lies seem more comfortable. It is doing what is right when wrong seems easier. It is faith in action over the long haul. You will face moments when quitting seems reasonable. Everyone does. The question is what you will do in those moments. Will you listen to the voice that says it is too hard, you have tried enough, no one would blame you for giving up? Or will you listen to my voice that says, keep going, I am with you, the finish line is ahead and the reward is worth the struggle? I am with you in the struggle. I do not stand at the finish line shouting encouragement from a distance. I run beside you. I lift you when you fall. I carry you when you cannot take another step. I provide what you need for each moment of the race. Perseverance is not solitary effort. It is partnership with me for the duration. Let me speak about finishing well. How you end matters. Many who start strong end poorly. They compromise in their later years. They grow bitter. They drift away from me. But you do not have to repeat their pattern. You can be someone who grows stronger with age. You can be someone whose faith deepens the longer you live. You can be someone who finishes better than they started. Finishing well requires ongoing vigilance. The enemy does not stop attacking just because you have been faithful for years. In some ways, a lifetime of faithful service makes you a bigger target. He would love nothing more than to bring down someone who has walked with me for decades. Stay alert, stay humble, stay dependent on me until your very last breath. Finishing well requires ongoing growth. Never conclude that you have arrived. Never stop learning. Never stop being challenged. Never stop being transformed. The moment you think you have nothing left to learn is the moment you become vulnerable. Keep growing. Keep stretching. Keep pursuing deeper relationship with me. Finishing well requires ongoing community. Isolation becomes more tempting as you age. Connections become harder to maintain. But you need others all the way to the end. You need encouragement. You need accountability. You need people who will tell you the truth. You need the body of Christ. Do not withdraw. Stay connected. Now let me speak directly to your heart as I bring this message to its conclusion. Everything I have said has been building to this moment. Every truth I have shared has been preparing you to receive what I want to release over you. Open your heart completely. Let every barrier fall. Allow my words to penetrate to the deepest places of your being. You are loved, not for what you do, but for who you are. Not because you have earned it, but because I chose to give it. My love for you is the most certain thing in the universe, more certain than the rising of the sun, more stable than the mountains, more enduring than time itself. Nothing can separate you from my love. Nothing. You are valued. Your worth is not determined by your productivity, or your appearance, or your achievements, or your failures. Your worth was established when I paid the ultimate price for you. The value of anything is determined by what someone is willing to pay for it, and I was willing to pay everything. That is how much you are worth to me. You are known. I know everything about you. Every secret, every shame, every fear, every dream. And knowing all of that, I pursue you anyway. I do not know you and reject you. I know you and embrace you. There is nothing you can reveal that will surprise me. There is nothing you can confess that will make me walk away. I know and I love. Both are complete. You are not alone. Whatever you are facing it with me. Whatever you are walking through, I am walking through it beside you. The loneliness you have felt is real, but it is not accurate. You are surrounded by my presence. You are accompanied by my spirit. You are held by my hands. Solitary is not your reality. Connected is. You are stronger than you know. I have built strength into you that you have not yet discovered. Reserves you have not yet tapped. Capacity you have not yet tested. When you need it, it will be there. When the moment comes, you will rise. The strength I have placed in you is real, and it is sufficient for whatever comes. You are destined for victory. This does not mean every battle will be easy. It means the war has already been won. The enemy you fight is already defeated. The outcome is certain. You are on the winning side. Live from victory, not toward it. Stand in the triumph that Christ has already accomplished. Your destiny is secure. I release my blessing over you. Not a generic blessing, but a specific one, tailored to exactly what you need. I bless your mind with clarity and peace. I bless your emotions with stability and joy. I bless your body with health and strength. I bless your relationships with healing and depth. I bless your finances with provision and generosity. I bless your future with hope and purpose. I release my protection over you. I station angels around you and your loved ones. I build a hedge that the enemy cannot penetrate. I cover you with my wings. I hide you in the shadow of my presence. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Every tongue that rises against you in judgment will be proved wrong. You are safe in me. I release my peace over you. The peace that surpasses understanding. The peace that guards your heart and mind. The peace that does not depend on circumstances. Let this peace settle deep into your soul. Let it calm every storm. Let it silence every fear. Let it be your constant companion in every moment. I release my purpose over you, clarity about your calling. direction for your path, confirmation of your assignment, open doors that no one can shut, closed doors that protect you from wrong directions, divine appointments with people you need to meet, strategic placement for maximum kingdom impact. I release my presence over you, not just the idea of my presence, but the experience of it, tangible awareness that I am with you, palpable sense of my nearness, unmistakable evidence of my involvement in your life, more of me. That is what I am releasing, more of me than you have ever experienced before. Go forward from this moment different than you were before. Something has shifted. Something has been imparted. You are not the same person who began listening to this message. You have been strengthened. You have been encouraged. You have been equipped. Now walk in what you have received. Do not let the enemy steal what has been planted. He will try. He always does. Guard your heart. Remember what you have heard. Return to these truths when doubt comes knocking. Let this message be a stake in the ground, a marker of a moment when heaven touched earth in your life. You have heard from me, not through human wisdom, but through divine communication. I have spoken directly to your situation. I have addressed your specific needs. I have released what you specifically need. Receive it all. Believe it all. Act on it all. I am proud of you. Not in a human sense of pride, but in the sense of a father who looks at his child with deep satisfaction. You have grown. You have endured. You have trusted even when trusting was difficult. I see your effort. I see your heart. I see your struggles and your victories. And I am proud. Keep going. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Keep hoping. Keep loving. Keep serving. Keep surrendering. Keep worshiping. Keep pressing forward toward the mark of the high calling that is yours in Christ Jesus. The best is yet to come. What you have experienced so far is just the beginning. I have made you strong. Remember this when weakness tries to convince you otherwise. I have built faith in you. Remember this when doubt attacks. I have placed my spirit within you. Remember this when you feel alone. I have called you by name. Remember this when identity confusion comes. I have promised to never leave you. Remember this when abandonment fears arise. You are mine. You belong to me. No force in heaven or on earth can change that. What I have declared over you stands forever. What I have begun in you I will complete. The same God who started this good work will carry it on to completion. You can count on it. You can stake your life on it. Because I am faithful, and I do not fail. Go now in the strength I have given you. Face what must be faced. Do what must be done. Trust what must be trusted. And know that every single step of the way, I am right there with you. Closer than close, more faithful than faithful, loving you with an everlasting love. Let me take you deeper still into the understanding of what I have done in your life. The strength I have built in you is not just for surviving. It is for thriving. It is for advancing. It is for taking ground that has been held by the enemy for far too long. You are not merely a survivor. You are a victor. And victors do not just endure attacks. They launch their own offensive actions. I want to speak about the specific ways I have strengthened you in each area of your life. Consider your emotional strength. Before the trials you faced, you may have been easily shaken by circumstances. Small disappointments could derail your entire day. Minor conflicts could consume your thoughts for weeks. But through what you have walked through, I have developed emotional resilience in you. You have learned to process pain without being destroyed by it. You have learned to feel deeply without losing yourself in the feeling. This is maturity. This is strength. This is my work in you. Consider your mental strength. Your mind has been challenged in ways that forced it to grow. Problems that once seemed unsolvable have been solved. Situations that once seemed impossible to navigate have been navigated. Your cognitive capacity has expanded. Your wisdom has deepened. Your ability to think clearly under pressure has been developed. These are not accidents. They are the fruit of intentional training that I supervised in your life. Consider your spiritual strength. Your faith has been tested and proven genuine. The doubts that once paralyzed you now merely visit and leave. The fears that once controlled you now only knock on your door. Your prayer life has deepened. Your hunger for my word has grown. Your sensitivity to my voice has increased. You are not the same spiritual infant you once were. You have grown up in me. And this growth has produced strength that the enemy cannot overcome. Consider your relational strength. Through betrayals and disappointments, you have learned what true friendship looks like. Through conflicts and reconciliations, you have developed skills in relating to others. Through losses and gains, you have come to value the people I have placed in your life. Your relationships are now built on firmer foundations. You choose your inner circle more wisely. You invest in connections that matter. This relational maturity is a form of strength that will serve you for the rest of your life. Consider your physical strength. I know some of you have faced health challenges that seem to weaken your body. But even through those challenges, a different kind of strength was being built. The strength to endure discomfort. The strength to keep going when your body protested. The strength to trust me with your physical being. For others, the trials you faced actually built physical resilience as you learned to care for your body, to rest when needed, to nourish yourself properly. Either way, strength was being developed. The faith of a mustard seed that I have cultivated in you is powerful precisely because of its simplicity. Complex theological frameworks can actually hinder faith. When you think you need to have everything figured out before you can trust me, you miss the point entirely. The mustard seed faith I am looking for does not require understanding how I will work. It simply requires believing that I will work. It does not demand a detailed plan. It trusts that I have one. It does not need to see the ending. It is willing to walk forward in the dark, holding my hand. This simple faith moves mountains, not because of its size, but because of its object. Faith in yourself, even great faith, can only accomplish what you are capable of accomplishing. But faith in me, even tiny faith, connects you to infinite power. The mustard seed becomes a great tree not because of anything inherent in the seed, but because of the life force that activates when conditions are right. Your faith becomes powerful, not because of anything inherent in you, but because of my power that is released when you trust me. I want you to understand the secret of strength and weakness. This seems contradictory, but it is kingdom reality. My power is made perfect in weakness. When you are strong in yourself, you tend to rely on yourself. When you are weak, you are more likely to rely on me. And reliance on me is where true strength comes from. So your weaknesses are not liabilities. They are opportunities for my power to be displayed. They are doorways through which my strength enters your life. This is why I do not always remove thorns when you ask me to. I told Paul that my grace was sufficient for him, that my power was made perfect in his weakness. He learned to boast in his weaknesses so that my power would rest on him. This is the paradox of Christian strength. It is not eliminating weakness, but embracing it as the context for divine power. When you finally stop pretending to have it all together, when you acknowledge your desperate need for me, you position yourself for the greatest demonstrations of strength. The battles you have faced were custom designed. I know this is a difficult concept. It implies that I allowed your suffering. And I did. Not because I enjoy seeing you in pain, but because I knew what was necessary for your development. A bodybuilder does not grow muscle by lifting light weights in comfortable conditions. Muscle grows through resistance, through strain, through pushing beyond previous limits. Your spiritual muscles have grown the same way. The resistance you faced was the very thing that built the strength you now possess. Some of those battles felt like they would never end. You were weary beyond description. You wondered if relief would ever come. And in those moments, I was closer than ever. I was not abandoning you in the difficulty. I was holding you in it. I was ensuring that you would not be crushed even when it felt like crushing was imminent. I was measuring the pressure precisely, allowing enough to build strength, but not so much that you would break. The enemy thought those battles would defeat you. He miscalculated badly. What he intended for destruction, I used for construction. What he meant to tear down, I used to build up. This is my specialty, taking the weapons of the enemy and turning them into tools for my purposes. Your very trials have become the foundation of your testimony. The places where you were most attacked are becoming the places from which you will minister most powerfully. I want to speak about the protection I have provided for your family. You have prayed for them. You have worried about them. You have wondered if your prayers were doing anything. Let me assure you that they were. Every prayer you have lifted for your loved ones has been heard and answered. Not always in the way you expected. Not always on the timeline you preferred, but answered nonetheless. My protection has surrounded those you love because of your intercession. There have been dangers averted that you never even knew about. Accidents that were prevented. Illness that was blocked. Influences that were neutralized. The enemy made plans against your family members, but those plans were frustrated. Angels were dispatched on assignment. Divine appointments were arranged. Protection was provided in countless ways that will only be fully revealed in eternity. Continue to pray for your family. Do not grow weary in this. Your prayers create a spiritual covering that has real effects in the physical realm. When you pray, you partner with me in ways that transcend human understanding. You access power that changes circumstances. You release blessing that flows to those you love. Never underestimate the impact of a parent praying for a child, a spouse praying for a partner, a sibling praying for a sibling. Some of your family members are far from me right now. This causes you great pain. You look at them and see potential that is being wasted. You see choices being made that lead to destruction. You feel helpless to change anything, but you are not helpless. You have access to the throne of grace. You have the ear of the King. Your prayers for their salvation and restoration are heard, and I am working. Even when you cannot see evidence of my work, I am working. The prodigals in your family have not been forgotten. I am pursuing them even now. I am arranging circumstances that will bring them to the end of themselves. I am placing people in their path who will speak truth. I am softening hard hearts. I am breaking through walls of resistance. Do not give up hope for them. Do not stop praying. Do not stop believing that their story is not finished yet. I am the God of second chances, third chances, and unlimited chances. I want to speak about specific promises that apply to your family. I have said that if you believe in me, you will be saved, you and your household. This is not a guarantee that your family members have no choice. It is a promise that your faith creates an atmosphere in which their salvation becomes more possible. Your life of faith speaks volumes to them even when you are not saying anything. Your steadfast trust in me through difficulty becomes a testimony that they cannot ignore forever. I have said that I will pour out my Spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your young men will see visions. Your old men will dream dreams. This promise extends to your family. It covers your descendants. The spiritual awakening that is coming will touch your household. Generations that seem far from me will return. Watch and see. I have said that children are a heritage from me, offspring a reward. Your children are not accidents. They are not burdens. They are gifts entrusted to you for a season. And my hand is upon them, even when they wander, even when they rebel, even when they seem determined to destroy their own lives. They are marked by my purposes, sealed with my intention, called to my kingdom. Your job is to pray, to love, to model faith, and to trust me with the outcome. Let me speak now about the hope that anchors your soul. This hope is not wishful thinking. It is not optimism based on positive circumstances. This hope is an anchor that holds firm through every storm. It is grounded in my character, my promises, my track record of faithfulness throughout human history. This hope does not disappoint because it is rooted in someone who cannot fail. When everything around you seems to be shaking, this hope holds you steady. When voices of despair try to convince you that nothing will ever change, this hope speaks louder. When circumstances seem to confirm that things will only get worse, this hope declares a different future. This is the hope that I have placed within you. It is not manufactured by positive thinking. It is implanted by my Spirit. and it cannot be destroyed. I want to release fresh hope over you right now. Hope for your health, hope for your finances, hope for your relationships, hope for your calling, hope for your family, hope for your future. This hope comes from me, and it is substantial. It has weight. It has reality. It is not just a nice feeling that will fade when difficulties come. It is an anchor that will hold you firm no matter what. Take this hope and guard it carefully. The enemy will try to steal it. He will point to evidence that hope is foolish. He will remind you of prayers that seem to go unanswered. He will whisper that things will never really change. Do not listen to him. He is a liar. He has always been a liar, and he will always be a liar. My hope is more reliable than his despair. My promises are more certain than his predictions. Hold on to hope with everything in you. Let me speak about the joy that I want to release over you. This joy is not dependent on your circumstances being pleasant. It is possible even in the midst of difficulty. It comes from knowing that you are loved, that you are held, that your future is secure in my hands. This joy is a strength that sustains you when nothing else can. Joy and sorrow can coexist. This seems impossible, but those who have walked with me through deep valleys know it is true. You can grieve losses and still have an underlying current of joy. You can face hardships and still smile through tears. You can walk through darkness and still carry light within you. This is supernatural. It is one of the marks of my presence in a life. I am releasing joy over you right now. Not the shallow happiness that comes and goes. Deep joy. Settled joy. Joy that wells up from within because you know whose you are and where you are going. Let this joy overflow in your life. Let it confuse those who expect you to be miserable. Let it testify to my goodness when your circumstances do not. Let it be a weapon against the despair that tries to claim you. Rejoice in me always. I will say it again. Rejoice. This is not a command I give lightly. I know what you are facing. I know the weight you carry. And I still say rejoice. Not because your problems are not real, but because I am more real. Not because your pain does not matter, but because my presence matters more. Rejoicing is an act of faith. It declares that I am good even when life is hard. Let me speak about the peace that I have provided. This peace is different from any peace the world can offer. The world's peace depends on absence of conflict. My peace exists in the midst of it. The world's peace requires favorable circumstances. My peace transcends circumstances entirely. The world's peace is fragile. My peace is unshakable. I leave my peace with you. I give my peace to you, not as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. These words I spoke long ago are still my words to you. The peace I offer has not expired. It has not been used up. It is available to you right now, in whatever situation you find yourself. Receive my peace now. Let it wash over you like a wave. Let it settle into every anxious place. Let it calm every fear. Let it quiet every worry. This is not pretending problems do not exist. It is knowing that I am bigger than every problem. It is trusting that I am working even when you cannot see it. It is resting in my sovereignty instead of straining under your own effort. The peace I give guards your heart and mind. Like a soldier posted at the gate of a city, my peace stands watch over your inner being. It filters what is allowed to enter. It blocks what would disturb your stability. It protects the vulnerable places of your soul. This is not passive peace. It is active protection. It is engaged defense. It is vigilant guardianship over your emotional and mental well-being. I want to speak one more time about the simple faith I am looking for. Not complex, not complicated, not requiring theological degrees or years of study. Simple trust, childlike confidence, the willingness to take me at my word without demanding explanations for everything. A child does not understand how their parent provides. They do not comprehend the complexities of employment, budgeting, bill paying. They simply trust that food will be on the table, that clothes will be provided, that needs will be met. This is the faith I want from you. not understanding how I will work, just believing that I will. When you come to me with mustard seed faith, I am moved. Something in my heart responds to genuine trust. I lean in, I pay attention. I act on behalf of those who simply believe. This is not earning my favor through the quality of your faith. It is positioning yourself to receive what I freely want to give. Your faith does not have to be perfect, it just has to be real. Honest faith, even faith mixed with doubt, is better than pretend faith that impresses no one. I would rather hear your honest cry of help my unbelief than your performance of faith you do not actually have. Authenticity matters more than amplitude. Reality matters more than religiosity. The strength I have placed in you, the faith I have developed in you, the protection I have provided for you, all of it comes together as you step forward into the future I have prepared. You are ready. Not because you feel ready. Feelings lie. You are ready because I have made you ready. I have been preparing you for this moment for longer than you know, and I will continue to prepare you for every moment that comes after. Go forward with confidence. Not confidence in yourself, though you have grown much. Confidence in me, in my faithfulness, in my power, in my love for you. This confidence will carry you through anything. It will sustain you when your own strength fails. It will uphold you when circumstances try to bring you down. Confidence in me is the most stable foundation you can build your life upon. I am with you. I will never leave you. I will never abandon you. Whatever comes, we face it together, and together, there is nothing we cannot overcome. You are more than a conqueror through me who loves you. Neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation can separate you from my love. Walk in that love. Live from that security. Rest in that promise. And watch what I do in your life, in your family, in your future. It will be beyond what you can ask or imagine. Not because of your greatness, but because of mine working through you. This is my word to you. Receive it. Believe it. Act on it. And become everything I have created you to become. Amen. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear these words. Type Amen in the comments to receive this blessing. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a message from God. Like this video to help others find it. And remember, you are loved more than you will ever know.